Hello, my lovelies. I'm sorry I'm a little bit late. I have just caught my breath for a second. I'm just going to send the message so everyone knows where it is. Just bear with me a second. It won't take me long. There we go. Done and done. Send that. There we go. So let me make sure I've only got what I need open. Happy Thursday. Happy 1st of June, everyone. This is very exciting, isn't it? I love this time of year. My favourite time of year is the winter in terms of seasons. But I do love the summer. It gives me like a completely different energy and it feels so expansive. And we've really been experiencing some summer weather here in the UK. So if you are here live or on replay, drop a comment. If you're on replay, let me know by saying #replay. Magical manifestation check training is something that I try and do monthly. I don't always get to do it. But it's something that I used to triple my income in a year, and I keep doing that over and over again. It keeps going up and up and up, and I love it. I love it. The checks are really powerful manifestation tools, and they are something that you might have read in Rhonda Byrne's The Magic. Rhonda Byrne is famous for The Secret, but she also wrote another amazing book called The Magic. And also Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey wrote himself a check for $10 million, and it got paid. Now, he wrote what I call a long-term check, which is what Rhonda teaches. And that is that you write for a big chunk of money and you let it cook away in the background for a period of time. You might not always know when. The method that I teach is a smaller check, but it's a check that you can build confidence in and you can work with every single month. So I'm not seeing any comments coming through. If you are here, do drop me a comment. It could just be that the link isn't that particularly that good. So hopefully I will see some comments coming soon, but let me know that you're here. I'll just have a sip of my drink. So magic checks. What are they? They are... Hi, Samantha. Yay, someone's here. Yay. Hey, everyone's coming through now. Angelique, Sarah, Samantha. Lovely to see you, lovelies. So the magic checks are literally checks. They are checks, and I've created this awesome checkbook. Hi, Maria. And it even has perforations in it. So it's like a real checkbook. Hi, Lynn. Okay. You can download a free magic check by Googling magic check PDF, or you can buy one off Amazon. But they don't tend to be as nice as this. Those of you that have got this checkbook will know how amazing this looks and feels. So Samantha says, my check has doubled this month after our work. Woohoo! See, it works. It works. Hi, Joe. Hello. Hi, Pansy. Lovely to see you too. Hi, Dawn. Oh, loads of you are here. That's amazing. Katrina, hello. I'm doing good, thank you. Oh, lots of you. This is lovely. Okay, so magic checks. If you want the checkbook, let me know and I will pop the details of where you can get these. There are some on Amazon. If you want it like yesterday, well, maybe tomorrow with Prime. But if you want to buy it from me, you can buy it from me as well. So this is what we're going to be using today, but you can use any check. Okay, it can be a PDF of a check. It can be another check. It doesn't have to be specifically these ones. But these ones are more magical, of course, because I created them. So the way we write magic checks is, first of all, we have to be in the right frame of mind, okay? Lynn says she'd like a checkbook. Fabulous. Well, I will send you the details, lovely. I'll just write that down because otherwise I will forget. Link. I'll put it in the comments here. I'll put it under your comment. Link for checks. Lovely. And like I said, they are available on Amazon if you're in the UK. So these magic checks, we write them every month, okay? Now, I love moon cycles, but I work in calendar months. So for me, writing a check monthly on the first of the month and finishing it on the last day of the month works really well for me. You can do it on the moon cycle. If you get paid on the 15th, you might want to start it on the 16th. It's entirely up to you. It doesn't matter. But the first thing we need to work on is like the way that you're coming at this. Money is a feminine being in my world, okay? If you don't know about money being a feminine being, check out my book. It is called The Magic of Money Alchemy. It is a transformational journey of revealing, healing, and transforming your relationship with money. And it's really, really powerful when you think about money as a feminine being, because feminine beings are playful, creative, supportive, nurturing. Okay, so you need to come at this with the mindset of fun, creativity, open-heartedness. Okay, because if you come at it from a point of desperation, need, and doubt, you will just get more desperation, need, and doubt. Okay, I did a video the other day on the 3 words that are actually causing you to damage your own manifestations. The first one is need, the next one is want, and I can't remember what the next one is off the top of my head because my head's going in 100 places at the same time. But we have to be very careful about the energy that we put behind our manifestations. Okay, so if you are desperate for money, excuse me, do not write a check from that place of energy. Okay, we want it from a place of desire, and that can take a little bit of work. Okay, now when these work, they work really, really well. When it appears they don't work, they are still working. They're telling you something. Okay, let's have a look. Hi, Arlene June. Katrina would like a checkbook. I'll pop the details in for you as well. Someone's currently, I can't see who you are, lovely, but currently reading The Magic Now. It's amazing. I will pop a link for you. When I'm not on Restream, I'll be able to see who you are, lovely. Yeah, Katrina would like a checkbook too. Amazing. I'll pop the links for you. Okay, so mindset. So one thing that I've started doing now is, well, I've been doing it for a while, silent counselling. And so to get into the right frame of mind and the right energy with money, I do part of silent counselling. This is only a very small part of it. So what I do is I take my right 2 fingers and I feel around underneath my collarbone just for a sore spot, so a spot that's slightly more tender than anywhere else. And it seems to move each day. Okay, there's mine there. And then I just breathe nice and deeply on this point 3 times. So you might want to do this with me. Make sure you're sitting down to do this because it can make you feel a little bit woozy. Okay, so let's just take a nice deep breath in. And release it. And another deep breath in. And release it. Notice the energy moving around your head. Deep breath in. And release it. Now take those right 2 fingers, pop them under your nose. We're going to do the same thing. 3 deep breaths. Deep breath in. And release. Deep breath in. And release. Deep breath in. And release. Notice that lovely energy moving. Mine's moving around my head. Really connects you into your body and also to the universe. Now what we're going to do is just 3 rounds of tapping on the side of your left hand. You can say whatever comes to mind. I'm calm. I'm capable. I'm creative. I'm calm. I'm capable. I'm creative. I'm calm. I'm capable. I'm creative. Whew. How's that feeling for you, lovelies? Are you feeling in a nice space to manifest some gorgeous money? I am. I feel all girly. I love it. I love it. Let me know how you're feeling after that. And whilst you're doing that, I'm going to show you my little ritual. So that's the first part. And that's a relatively new part. Okay. So what I also do is I pop a dot of wild orange oil on my hand. And you go very careful. If you're allergic to citrus, don't do this. Nice and calm, right, Becky? Yeah. Now, orange oil, wild orange oil, is the oil of abundance, and it always reminds me of Portugal. When you drive in Portugal in the spring or the summer, the trees are just heavy with so many oranges. They're just everywhere. They're absolutely everywhere. Pam's saying she feels really chilled. I needed that, yeah. Isn't it a beautiful way to like get into the zone? Yeah. That's just a small element of silent counselling, which is what I'm teaching to people this weekend. Yeah, orange oil, right? Oh, lovely. And so I just breathe it in. Orange oil connects you, again, just like that breathing activity does. It connects you into the earth, but also up to the universe. It has this beautiful effect of doing both. So a lot of the things that we do will either ground us or connect us. These things do both. And then what I do is I have a piece of citrine. Sometimes I have a small piece of citrine. Today, I've decided to go for a big chunk of citrine. I love citrine. Citrine is the manifestation stone. You can get it relatively cheaply. It's not a massively expensive one. You don't need a big one like this. You can get one like this is about £2 or £3, sometimes a little bit more, but not massive. And again, you don't have to do these things. This is what I do because I think it's really wonderful to see what other people do in their money rituals. So citrine, I just hold on to citrine. I have citrine everywhere. I have it in my pockets, in my bags, on my desk. You know, I used to have it next to my bed, but it kept me awake, so I don't have it next to my bed anymore. But it just reminds me every time I see it that I'm a manifesting queen, right? I'm the money alchemist, and you can be money alchemists too. Okay. I've got a comment here. Let me just show it on the screen. I've got wild orange, but I've got orange, but it's not wild. That's fine. That's fine. To be honest, with oils and crystals, a lot of it is about your intention. So if you intend it to be the oil of abundance, if you intend it to be wild, then it will be. Okay. So I've got my citrine here. And then also, I always make sure that I write with a really gorgeous pen. So this is my Swarovski pen. Sometimes I use a quill. I've got some other pens. I've got this lovely Parker pen, which my friend Natasha sent me. I've got this rose gold crystally pen. But today I'm using my gold Swarovski one because I like writing with it. It doesn't need to be an expensive pen, but just a pen that you enjoy writing with. Yeah. But if you need an excuse to get a nice pen, Magic Checks is a good excuse. Pamsy says, I don't have citrine, but using linseed oil. Yeah, linseed oil is brilliant for that as well. So you can use, it's a very high vibration oil. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so I've got my pen, I've got my citrine, I've got my oil, I've got my breath work done, and I've got my lovely checkbook. Now, before we write anything, we need to figure out how much we're going to ask for. Now, when I first started this, I was writing checks for £3,000 and they didn't get paid. They didn't get paid. But what I noticed was over the period of time that I wrote them and they didn't get paid, which was 3 months in a row, my income went up and up and up. So where it was way below £3,000, it got closer and closer and closer to it. And then in the 4th month, it got paid. And I was like, what? That's insane. So then I went big and I was like, well, if I can manifest £3,000, then maybe I can manifest 9. So I wrote a check and I crashed and burned. My worst month in business ever. And what I learned from that was that there is a sweet spot. There's a sweet spot when it comes to manifesting money with checks. And that's not to say you can't manifest $10 million like Jim Carrey can. You absolutely can. If you've got all of your money blocks, all of your money stories, all of your money healing all dealt with. Yeah. And I don't yet. My money healing is progressing and it's way more than it was 3 or 4 years ago, but it's a journey that we're going on. And so if you write a check for $10 million and your mind, body and soul isn't on the bus with you, then it's just not going to happen because you don't believe it's even possible. Yeah. So what I recommend doing to build confidence and trust in the process is pick an amount that creates what I call money tension. Now, money tension takes a little bit of practice, okay? But basically, what I do is I think of a number and I am trying to work out whether my mind is going, that's impossible, or that's easy, or that's interesting. So if it's too hard, or if it's too much or too little, I don't write the check for it, but it's the number that goes, oh, that's interesting. I don't know how I'm going to do that, but I feel like it's possible. Not probable, possible. Yeah. So that's the sweet spot. Now, whilst you're working this out, what you can do is look at what you're already earning and add 10%. Okay. You don't need to know how. Okay. The magic in these magic checks is that you have to let go of the how. I see Melanie's here. Yay. Melanie, you're still looking for the sweet spot, aren't you? But you're playing around with it and they are working for you. You had one that worked the other day, didn't you? Which is awesome. So also, like I said at the beginning, make sure you're in the right frame of mind to write a check. If you know you're struggling, don't write the check today. Write it tomorrow or next week, okay? Money does not hold anything against you. She is like, so what? You're a week late. So what? You wrote a check, amazing. Okay? Maria, yeah, I'll pop the link there for you after. I'll do it after this call, okay? Sarah's got citrine and aventurine, great manifesting crystals, amazing. Angelique's feeling really nice and calm after the breathing, love it. So your money tension is that, oh, that's interesting, don't know how, and you have to surrender the how, okay? Because if your mind goes to, let's say you write a check for £5,000, whatever number I say, I don't want you to feel triggered by it. You will, but don't worry about it. Your numbers are your numbers. My numbers are my numbers. Like, this process works regardless of whether you're writing a check for £100 or £10,000 or more. Yeah. If you've got your stuff together. Okay. So look around at what you're already earning. Okay. This is the first step. What are you already bringing in? Okay. You might be surprised at what's coming in, because most people think they get paid once a month, but money comes in through lots of different routes. Yeah. So make sure you count it. And so then you decide on the figure. And sometimes, just to let you know, sometimes my figure is lower this month than it was last month. Sometimes it's higher. But over a 12-month period, it triples, which is amazing. I've had a bit of a sticking point this year, which is really uncovering some yucky money blocks that I'm working through healing. So I've sort of stuck around the same level this year, but I know that this is uncovering stuff I need to work on, stuff I need to heal, right? So I'm okay with that. But yeah, sometimes I write a smaller check. Other times I write a bigger check. I'm constantly feeling into it because it has to be within the realms of possibility, not probability. Okay. And remember, these checks are working to increase your income. Okay. Month on month. So we come up with a figure. We check it for money tension, or if we can't feel it yet, I get a little flutter in my solar plexus. If you can't feel it yet, just add 10% and see how that feels. If you add 10% to what you've already got and then go, oh my God, no, I can't do that, try 5%. Yeah? Ollie and Jean said, my first check in November paid out, so I increased the amount for my next check and none of them have been paid out. How do I identify the blocks? So I feel good about the money I'm asking for. So what I would do, Ollie and Jean, is just go back to that original amount and see if you can create it consistently. There's like a lack of faith potentially in there. So create it consistently for a couple of months and then start chopping it up a little bit. See if you can move it up a bit. That's what I have to do. It can depend on your archetypes as well. So I feel really good about writing big checks and then my archetype gets to play in the background. And I'm like, oh, talk myself out of it. So try that. Try going back to the first one. run it for another 1 or 2 months until you've got the faith, and then move it up a little bit by a little bit. Okay. I've got a comment here. I don't know who you are. Sorry, lovely. Missed the first bit. Do we create the check ourselves, or are there templates online? There are free templates online, but you can also order this from me or from Amazon. So this has got rip out checks, which is awesome. Okay. Melanie says, yes, this is what I'm doing, Orleen Jean, playing with the numbers. It is about playing with the numbers, and they won't always pay out, but what you will see is over a period of 12 months, that income increasing. So it's working in the background. So magical. I friggin' love these checks. They're awesome. So how do you write your check? Well, before I let you write your check, you've come up with a number. You're playing around with a number. I want you to feel through the number. This is never about the figures. Money manifestation is never about the money. It's about the feeling. It's not about the figure, it's about the feeling, okay? So I want you to imagine through that number that you're thinking of, and see, just for a moment, daydream, imagine, okay? What would that give you? What feeling would that create for you? What desire does that support? So it might be as simple as, let's just feel into one, for example. Okay, you might say, well, I'll have enough money to pay down my credit card. And that will feel like less worrying. Yeah? Or it might be, I'll be able to buy curtains for my office window, and that will feel more luxurious, and then I'll feel more creative in my office. That's one for me. I've got blinds, but I feel like I need something a little bit softer and feminine there. I feel like I know that I'll be able to get my car fixed, and then I'll be able to rely on it. I'll feel safe and in a reliable car, and it won't let me down, and I'll be able to get somewhere. So think about how you will feel. That's the desire, yeah? Because on these checks, there's a space here for you to write your desire, to remind you to go through the figure into the feeling. Because it's the feeling that you manifest from, not the figure. Anyone can write a check. If you're not feeling into it, you're not going to manifest it. You have to feel through the figure into the feeling. Okay, so we have our check. Okay, now the first thing that you need to do, it says payee. And I want you to write your name where it says payee. So I'm going to write Eloise Burton. Now, the date is the date that you would ideally like this paid. Now, the universe is pretty literal, but sometimes in between now and the date that you want it paid, so for me, it's the end of the month, I can get in my own way and cause it to slow down. I did that this month. I got really close to my check and then was like, oh, well, there's only 1 day left, so that's not going to happen, is it? And I pushed it out and it arrived today. So it arrived a day late. Sometimes it arrives a few weeks late. So you just got to make sure you get out of the way with it. Okay, so I'm going to write the 30th of June on here. 2023, be specific. 30th of June 2023. And what you want to do now is write your number down. So just for the purposes of this demonstration, I'm just going to write £5,000. So I haven't spent time feeling into my number yet. So I'm going to write £5,000 in the number box, and I'm going to write £5,000 in words. I'll show you that. Like this. Now, many of you who have had checkbooks will have been taught to draw lines after all of the entries. I don't want you to draw lines just yet, because there is a very special law of attraction secret that even as a law of attraction coach, I forgot until someone mentioned it to me a few years ago. And when they mentioned it to me, I was like, oh yeah, why am I doing that? And then I did it, and my check got paid almost double what I asked for. Not quite, but almost double, okay? So what I want you to do is, where you've written it out, I want you to write or more, Okay, because that leaves the door open to the universe. If the universe has got £5,500 that it wants to send to you and you've only asked for 5,000, it might go, oh, well, you asked for 5,000, I've got 5,500. So what do I do with this? So leave the door open with or more. And then in the numbers box, write a plus sign like that. Do you see it? I've written or more down here, leaving the door wide open, universe, send me more. Send me more if you want to, if you have it. Okay? And then underneath there's the desire for manifestation. I want you to talk about the feeling. So let's say the feeling of a feminine feeling in my office to add creativity. So that helps me remember what that desire is. I've written that on there. I don't know if you can see it actually. I've written it here. What I've written is feminine feeling in my office to aid creativity, to add creativity. Okay? Let's have a look. Would you put your document name or the name you're using on a daily basis? So I'm Katerina in documents, but Cassia in my day-to-day life. Whatever you prefer, my lovely. So how it's entirely up to you. It's entirely up to you. You could try with both because sometimes the name it can affect your manifestations. So it's like your soul recognizes a name. So I would try whatever you would use normally first, and then try if that didn't work, try the other. I mean, it's a very small part of it. It wouldn't make that much difference. I mean, you could in theory write pay me, and that should work. I wouldn't get caught up in that. Is what I'm kind of saying about that, really. So don't worry too much about that. Okay, so that is your check written. But now what? Well, now here's some things you don't need to do. You don't need to say 1,000 affirmations a day. You don't need to be staring at it constantly. And you don't need to be thinking how. Okay, in fact, that's the hardest bit, is letting go of the how, right? So what I do is I have a little mini easel here. And it's just to the left of me now. And I pop my check on it and put it on my desk. And then what I do is I carry on. It's cooking away in the background. I know it's there. I can see it, but I can't read it. So oftentimes with manifestations, we kill the energy, the high vibration energy, by staring at it and saying these affirmations over and over again. And affirmations do work if you've got the right energy. But if you've ever tried to say, even 100 affirmations a day, you'll know that day one, it's upbeat, you're looking at your vision board and you feel amazing. And then day two, it's like, I've only got time for 50. So you rattle them out really quickly with no feeling, right? We need the feeling. So you can leave it to cook away in the background. You don't have to work hard on this, okay? Your subconscious mind will see this, even though you aren't looking at it. So put it somewhere you can see it. Mine's on my desk. You could put it on your fridge. You could put it on your mouse mat. You could put it in your diary if you're looking in your diary several times a day. Just make sure you're seeing it regularly, okay? Not looking at it, but seeing it. And your subconscious mind will work away on the how in the background, okay? And oftentimes you won't even know how. How did that even happen? And it does. Okay, so let's have a look. Just wondering, would you pop your name in or your business name? Your name for this, because you're manifesting it. Your business is a legal entity in its own right, but it cannot manifest. It doesn't have feelings. You have to manifest from feeling, okay? And actually, that's a really important point. So what I do is I look at everything, all the money that's coming into me and into my bank accounts. And that includes my joint bank accounts, my business bank accounts, and my personal bank accounts. Okay, because every single piece of money counts, right? When I first started writing magical manifestation checks, the biggest part of my business was quality assurance consulting. And I wanted to get to that magical 10K a month. And after a few months of trying, I started getting traction with the checks, and within that year, I was manifesting £10,000 a month. However, I didn't realise it because I was thinking that the money had to come from one place. Yeah, this business, not my consulting business. And like, the universe wants to get money to you by the path of least resistance. Yeah, by the path of least resistance. It's like water. So if you have a business and money comes through that, then let it. If you have benefits and money comes through that, let it. Don't say, oh, it doesn't count because I didn't earn it, or it doesn't count because it's in my business account, or it doesn't count because I inherited it, because I got given it, because I didn't earn it, blah, blah, blah. Everything counts. Every piece of money counts. So long as it's coming to you, into your accounts. I count Mark's money, although I forgot to do that last month and it did get paid anyway. So I count Mark, my partner's money as well, because it comes into my account with him. So that's my joint account. So we manifest as a household. Yeah, Mark and I as a household. And don't start getting picky about where the money comes from. Obviously, we don't want it to come from illegal routes. That's the one proviso. But don't turn money away just because you didn't earn it, or it came into this business and not that business, like I did. Honestly, I think the universe was sat there for about 4 months going, you asked me for £10,000. I've been sending you £10,000 and you're still saying it's not getting paid, right? And it was getting paid. It was just that money wasn't coming the way I wanted it to. With money, you have to let go of a lot of stuff. You have to let go of a lot of control, feminine, flowing, creativity, fun, playfulness. You have to let go, okay? And it's hard. I'm not going to lie to you, lovelies. It's hard. Of course, I want all that money to come into just my business, but it comes in from different places, yeah? And that's great, okay? Because money is everywhere and it comes through all sorts of different routes, and it comes by the path of least resistance. So hopefully that helps. Okay. Yeah, this is a great idea, Samantha. Put it on my money altar and see it every day when I pull my cards. Yeah. If you don't have a money altar yet, you can sign up to my challenge. We talk about it in my challenge. I'll pop the challenge link in here as well. We're starting at the end of the month. I think it's the 26th we start. It's 5 days of manifesting money, which is awesome. Melanie, oh, you're funny, bless you. I'm not being paid to say this, she isn't. But if you haven't got the checkbook, get it. They are lovely, and they do make it a ritual, don't they? Yeah, makes it important. And Samantha's saying they are all part of the magic, aren't they? Along with the cards. Yeah. And let's have a look. This live is such a good reminder. Thank you for doing this, Eloise. Oh, do you know, this is the thing where I need to be reminded as well, because all of my wonderful clients, some of which are here, like they say, oh, I forgot to write my check, or I didn't do my money magic foundations. And I'm like, yeah, I do that too. Like, so me showing up to do this is a great reminder for me to do it. So after this, I've booked some time to spend really feeling into the figure for me. It's not something you should do in like 2 minutes. It's at least a half-hour practice, I think. Okay, fabulous. So you leave it to cook in the background. So like Samantha said, you can put it on your altar. You could stick it on your fridge, put it in your diary, put it on your desk, somewhere you're going to see it, but where it's not necessarily, you're not going to be like looking at it all day. It doesn't matter actually. If you put it underneath your screen, that would be okay as well. But you don't need it stuck in front of you, or, you don't need to do that, because that just kills the energy. Okay. Oh, you're very welcome, Mary. She said, thank you for this, Eloise. Thank you. Thank you for being here. So how do we know? We're going to fast forward, okay? Fast forward into the middle of the month. Now, at this point, you might look at your check a few times and you might have a feeling that it's cooking away nicely, or that you need to turn the heat up a little bit. Now, here's a bit of tough love. Manifesting money is not about willing it, okay? It's not about willing it. It is about setting an intention and taking the opportunities that present to themselves. So when I say unhook from the how, I'm afraid I don't mean just lay on your sofa waiting for it to arrive. I would love if that was true. Wouldn't that be amazing? You do have to take the action. So, like, if you think, okay, I need to sell a few things this month, then you actually have to sell a few things this month. You actually have to, if someone offers you an opportunity, you have to investigate it. If the universe presents you with something, follow that path. But you can't just, you have to move to manifest. Oh, Melanie, there might be something in that we can do together. Move to manifest. Oh, you do have to move. You can't stay still and manifest. You have to move. You don't always need to know how to move or where to move, but you have to move, okay? And just moving will make a difference. So I created the Money Magic Foundations for you. You can do those every day. They don't take long. Those of you that are already got them, you'll know. They don't take long, but they create a movement in your manifestation. Even though it's not focused on your manifestation, they create a movement. They create a ripple in the universe that's going to ripple back to you. So yeah, you can't just spend this half hour writing your check and then just relax for the rest of the month. But you don't have to hustle, grind, plan it within an inch of its life. You let go of the how, let the how present itself. And if the how is not moving for you, then move, do the Money Magic Foundations. They are all practical things that you can do. They don't take very long. Yeah. So then we're going to fast forward again. Okay. On the last day, after the last day. So on the last day, there's still a day to go. This is something that a trap I always fall into. Oh, my check didn't get paid. And that's on the 31st, like it was yesterday. And then I'm blocking it. So wait until the day after. Like, wait for the whole day to finish. If you want to stay up till midnight, then you can do that. Oh, I'm not going to do that. And then check around. Okay, here's the thing, right? Check everywhere. Look in all of your bank accounts. You might be surprised that you've forgotten about some bank accounts. You might be surprised that money's come in and you haven't seen it. Look around at, where else has money come in? Has it come in a way that isn't money? Perhaps someone's gifted you something that you wanted and you don't have to buy it now. So look everywhere. Look in your Nectar cards, in your purse, look in your cashback accounts, look everywhere, okay? If you've got a doTERRA account, I highly recommend looking in your doTERRA account because there's often a nice surprise in there. But look everywhere. Don't just sit there thinking, oh, it hasn't been paid. Go and look for it. Okay. And if you've been doing the Money Magic Foundations, you'll have an idea of other money that's come in as well. So look everywhere. Okay. You might already know that your check's been paid. Some people, their checks get paid early and more, and they just know it. Other times you have to look for it. Now, there are times when your check doesn't seem to be getting paid. And these are hard. Because they knock your confidence in the process, and I promise you the process works, okay? So it's really important that you sit with a check that hasn't been paid. Make sure you've checked everywhere and just think about what stopped this manifesting for me. Was it the tension at the start? Did I have the right tension, or did I think it was too hard? Was I trying to convince myself, particularly your romantics and celebrities out there, was I trying to convince myself when actually my intuition was telling me something else? Also, is it showing you some sort of block? Have you nearly got the money but somehow not quite? Yeah, because that can be a receiving issue. Many of us have receiving issues. Have you counted, keep coming back to this, have you counted all of your money? Have you counted all of your money? If your check definitely hasn't been paid, then I surrender the question to the universe. What is this showing me? And 9 times out of 10, I get a money block hit me in the face. And it's like, oh, I never thought of that. That happened. There's a money block. I need to heal that. And so you can heal it, and then you can go again. But when your check gets paid, what I want you to do is to celebrate. Do a crazy happy dance, first of all. And there are some archetypes you won't be able to celebrate. You've got to do the celebration. My archetype doesn't like celebrating. So I do a silly happy dance, even live on video now. And I write on the back of my check, paid with huge gratitude, or received with huge gratitude, something like that. Gratitude. And then love hearts, because I love the universe and I love money and I love these checks. Something like that. Now, I keep my checks that are paid, but you don't have to. I like looking back through them, and I think they're particularly helpful when you have one that doesn't get paid, okay? They're a reminder that you can manifest, okay? And the really big ones, the ones that pay out double or like 1.5 times, they are a reminder that you can manifest. You can manifest. We can all manifest, but there's a sequence that we need to follow, and it's the feeling and the movement that makes the difference. Now, if your check doesn't get paid, I write on the back of it, what is this showing me? And I draw love hearts again, because I still love money. I've just somehow disconnected. And if I'm honest, it's because I felt yucky, or because I didn't really believe in the number, or I had doubts about even writing a check, or here, I've done this a few times. I've scribbled out a check in 2 minutes and didn't give it the courtesy and respect that it deserves. And also the magic. I didn't infuse the magic because I rushed it. Now, I do burn my checks that didn't get paid as a form of release. And oftentimes at that release, that's when you realise what the issue is. Sometimes it takes a few days. But the really important thing about whether your check gets paid or whether it doesn't get paid is that you go again. Remember, the first 3 checks I wrote did not get paid. They did not get paid. It's not a disaster. This is meant to be fun. This is meant to be playful. You're meant to see all of the things that money wants to show you, because she has so much to show you, right? So that is how you write a magical manifestation check. And as I said, like, these work. Okay, if you get this sequence, this feeling, this movement sorted, they work. And they work so amazingly easily that it feels surreal. It feels surreal. Just be honest with yourself. When you're writing these checks, are you in the right frame of mind? Have you got the right tension? Are you creating a special environment for this? Are you doubting yourself? Are you not getting that money tension right? Okay. And are you honestly moving for your manifestation? And the most simple way to move for your manifestation is the 5 money magic foundations, which are free. They're free. So if you want those, let me know. Okay. Do them. My number one question to people when they say things aren't working is, are you doing your money magic foundations? Okay, because they connect you with money. It's so easy to fall out of this high vibration with money. It's so easy because everything around us is scarcity and fear and worry. Okay, you have to commit to doing these things, because if you don't do them, your relationship with money starts to suffer. Your relationship with money is like any relationship. If you don't put a little bit of work in every day, it starts to slide. And before you know it, you're at the divorce stage. Yeah. But a little bit of effort, just a tiny piece of effort every day, brings you together. Yeah. And this is what I find when I'm like, oh, money, no, not a fan. And it does happen to me. Even now, I realise I need to work on my relationship. And I see it with my partner, Mark, as well. When I'm like, he's driving me insane. And then I'm like, what am I doing to just put a little bit of effort into this? Not like doing everything, but what am I doing where I'm not putting a little bit of effort in, because I start to take him for granted. I start to see the negative things. This is a relationship. It's a long-term relationship. The feeling of love that feeling can disappear, but it doesn't mean the love's gone. It's just the chemical reaction's gone. Love is something that we work at, that we build strong bonds and roots with, right? So that's what we need to do with money. Going off on a bit of a tangent there. Okay. Katrina says, thank you for taking the time to teach us. I enjoyed listening to you. Thank you. Thank you for joining, my lovely. Yeah, move to manifest. We need to do something, don't we? This is for the Money Magic Foundations, isn't it? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put all of the links above this video. So come back and look for the links above this video. I think that's probably the easiest thing to do. Mary says, I've had opportunities come up for me to join and bring income in since doing this. Exactly, Mary. So you're moving, aren't you? You're being presented with the opportunities, and then you're taking them. You're moving towards your manifestation. I love that. I love that. So you get what I mean with that. Yeah. Okay. The paperback, Samantha says, the paperback tracker has really helped me as found I wasn't completing it on the app consistently. Yeah. So in the circle, my circle and academy members get a paperback tracker, and you can buy it on Amazon. You can buy it on Amazon, but they get it as like a little welcome gift. And we used to have it on an app, and it just wasn't the same. There's something very wonderful about spelling your manifestations into being when you write, isn't there? And so the paperback tracker is something you can put in your bag and things like that. So yeah, I'm glad you're finding that, because I think a lot of people are, which is awesome. Oh, Pam, you're very welcome, my lovely. Glad you enjoyed it. And Mary, yeah, absolutely. Fabulous. Well, listen, if you've got any questions, let me know. I'll hang around for a few moments and just see if there's any questions. Let's have a look. Okay, Pam's just commented here. I've realised I'm not ready to create the checks yet, but I've learned that I need to focus on my current relationship with money as I'm feeling scared and in scarcity, which I need to work on. Absolutely. Pam, have you got my book, my lovely? The book really, really helps you understand the relationship and it's very practical and very easy to read, apparently. And this is the number one comment, is that it's really easy to read. So if you're not ready to write the checks yet, you could just do them anyway, but if you think it's gonna like hurt your trust, then don't do it. But grab a copy of the book and have a read, and it will immerse you in the beautiful energy of that wonderful relationship with money. Yes, that's the thing, isn't it? Need to take time to read it. Yeah. So we've got all the tools, we've got everything we need, and sometimes we don't do the things that are going to help for some reason. It's strange, isn't it? But Pam, there's literally, just so you know, the chapters are barely longer than a couple of pages. I think there's one that's a bit longer, but they're short chapters, so you probably only need about 5 or 10 minutes. Does anyone else smell books? I love the smell of books. When I go into Waterstones, I'm like, I love them. So yeah, find some time, because it's absolutely what you need. Absolutely. Oh, thank you, lovely. Thank you. Okay, writing a new check later today. Me too. I'm going to do that. Yeah. Violetta, found some money on the street. Yeah. Oh, found some money on the street and forever doing a money magnet mantra daily. Oh, so you did find some. Brilliant. Amazing. Okay. And Maria, if the money doesn't go through, what was it that you write on the back of the check before burning it? You can write whatever you feel drawn to, lovely, and you don't have to burn it. It's entirely up to you. But I just write, what is this showing me? What is this showing me? And then I surrender it to the universe, and 9 times out of 10, I get an answer. It's like, oh, doll. Yeah. Oh, Melanie, it's not just me. I love it. I think books smell amazing. Okay. Oh, you're very welcome, Becky. Right, I'm going to love you and leave you. I will go and put all the links above all of the videos, because I'm streaming across everywhere. LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook. So, yeah. Fabulous. Have a wonderful, it's Thursday. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And if I don't see you before, have a wonderful weekend. See you later, love.